So working with young people, um, yes, I think, most of them have been experienced powerlessness so much their whole lives. And, so, if we step into that authoritarian kind of parental role, we're liable to create all kinds of resistance, right? And we're just going to do that out of our own defensiveness, right? Anyway, right? And, and that can happen to any of us. We're not sure what to do. It's not working. What's going on here? I'm just, but at the same time, while we need to be in that really agenda-free, listening, trauma-informed mode, right? Um, we do need to show up with some, I don't know what the right term is, a certain kind of strength or presence or confidence, or you're not going to get young people even pay attention to you, right? If you come in a really passive way, you're not likely to get their attention. So sometimes, it's not like becoming authoritarian, but sometimes you do have to bring in a little bit of strength or presence or
Absolutely.
something to get their attention. I wonder if you could speak to that.
Yeah, I think the thing absolutely that's very, very true. And I think as somebody who in my training business, I'm training people to do these types of programs. Um, the word that comes to mind for me that you said was confidence. And you probably know this from experience on both sides of the wall and the people you've trained, going particularly into detention settings. Youth and adults do not want to work with people who they think are scared of them. And
Mm-hmm.
so they can smell that out, whether that's passiveness or just being intimidated or whatever. So confidence is really, really critical. And I tell people confidence comes from two places. It comes from doing your work and your training and your prep. Like if you had, the best people who run these programs, whether it's, my MBSAT program or your Path to Freedom program, they've done their homework enough to where they don't have to like continuously go to a piece of paper and be like, okay, what am I supposed to do next now? They've done that, right? And then the other place is the experience. They go in, they see the people they're working with as human beings. They're not afraid to project confidence. And I think presence and strength are other words that you've said that I relate to as well. Um, Particularly for young people, particularly we work with young men and young women, but of course in the juvenile detention center it's like 90% young men. And particularly working with young men, they they really gravitate towards that kind of authentic presence and strength that's not domineering, that's not too authoritarian, because that's what they're getting with the guards, right? But somebody there's a consistency to it. And I do think that comes from confidence. So I tell people all the time, it's okay if you're starting and you're like, there's a difference between I'm not confident versus I don't have a lot of experience in this work. If you're just starting off, for example, and you've never went into a juvenile detention center, it's okay to say, I don't have a lot of experience and I'm about to learn new things. But if you go in there and you tell yourself, and if you start acting non-confident and you're too passive, you're absolutely right. Like part of it is we do have to get their attention. We do have to show them that we're serious in the sense that we're going to show up consistently over and over and over again. And we're not babysitters, we're not just going to do nothing. And that comes through as you project that confidence.